attacks across Ukraine. He is expected to discuss security guarantees for Kyiv and international sanctions on Russia. Moscow carried out one of its largest aerial strikes on Ukraine overnight, firing 40 missiles and roughly 580 drones, targeting infrastructure, residential areas and civilian industries, resulting in at least 3 deaths and dozens of injuries. Let's listen to what a resident had to say.
Ну, було чутно, як все ближче ці шахет приближається, зрозуміло, що летить кудись на нас. Ну, дуже з дитиною спугались. Це вдруге, коли в мій дом попадає шахет, до цього в мене попадав град, в мене дитина не спала півроку. Це для мене була дуже проблема. Зараз теж я не можу заспокоїтись досі.
Meanwhile, according to the Ukrainian air defense, it intercepted the majority of the attack, shooting down 552 drones and 31 missiles. On the other side, the Russian Defense Ministry stated that its air defense systems intercepted and destroyed 149 Ukrainian drones over regions including Saratov and Samara during the same period. We are now joined by Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar. He is a senior strategic and defence expert, and he joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us, Major General. First of all, let's start with these diplomatic updates. A huge update here, another Trump-Zelensky meeting, this time in New York at the United Nations General Assembly on those sidelines. What does Zelensky hope to achieve from this meeting at the UNGA, and do you think he could possibly secure stronger US security guarantees given the current circumstances between Russia and the United States?
Thank you, Thomas. A very interesting juncture this war is taking. And if we are following this war very, very closely, you would notice that there has been an escalation on the part of the Russians. And the offensive has increased. The preponderance of firepower has increased, the drones and the missiles in particular. So considering these aspects, and also there has been a further loss of territory by Ukraine. So considering what is happening and the way Putin is outlining its strategy, I think Zelensky has to take a call. He cannot delay the things the way it is happening, because from the European Union and the NATO countries, there is a support for Zelensky to keep on fighting the war, whereas Trump is trying to end the war. And yesterday also Trump has made a statement that he's quite disappointed the way Putin has responded to a request for a ceasefire. Now Zelensky is going to meet Trump once again. What will it?
Okay, we have some network issues there, I believe. Hopefully, Major General Kochhar will join us back in just a second. Huge developments there coming out of the Russia-Ukraine war, both on the diplomatic front and, of course, on the battlefield, with a huge meeting next week going to happen between the Ukrainian president and the US president on the sidelines of the UNGA meeting in the United States. Major General Kochhar joins us once again. Apologies there. I believe there were some network issues. Major General, I want to move over to the battlefield next. Let's have a look at the numbers of a significant amount of drones. Approximately 580 drones were fired over into Ukraine last night, and 40 missiles intercepted by the Ukrainians were around 552 drones and 31 missiles. It resulted in 3 fatalities on the Ukrainian side. Just how big of an operation is this? Of course, 552 drones downed and 31 missiles down by Ukrainian air defenses. It sounds like a huge operation. Could you describe the kind of capabilities of defense that kind of those defense operations take?
Very significant that in case you are able to down more than 500 drones and over 30 to 40 missiles, it means that you have a fairly robust and well uh, coordinated air defense network, and especially if you have the Patriot systems available to you and the other air defense mechanisms which the United States has given to Ukraine. So possibly I would take it as a percentage success around 45 to 50%. That would imply that more than 50% of what the Russians have fired would have actually hit the target. Also, you have to take one thing in account. See, these reports which we keep on getting through the media and telling us that so many drones were destroyed and so many missiles were destroyed, you must remember that the truth is the biggest casualty in war. You will exactly never come to know how many of these were actually destroyed and how many of these actually hit the target. So we have to take a very rough kind of estimate when we try to analyze these issues, because we are never too certain on these reports, because first of all, uh, who is sending these reports to us? Is it from the Ukrainian side or from the Russian side, or is it a Western media giving us this information? So we'll have to take that also into account, the credibility factor, because in a warlike situation, credibility is the biggest casualty, as I said. So considering that 50 to 60% the success is there, it shows that Ukraine still has a credible air defense system in place. Because even if a system can demolish more than 50% of what is being uh, received or fired upon, I think that is a fairly credible air defense system which is still existing in Ukraine.